Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jackie Hanton, and with me today is Dan Dooley, owner of Wrigley Hall. Welcome, Dan.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so it's, super exciting. Anytime you go downtown Port Huron, I feel like there's always something going on at the Wrigley Center, right? So whether it's the outside facade going up, now the parking structures going in, people are moving into the lofts, but your space, Wrigley Center, Wrigley Hall in Wrigley Center, right?
Right.
Tell us about that. Like, what's the exciting things to come kind of on the entertainment side of this facility?
First off, you're spot on. The activity downtown is, and not just with the Wrigley Center or Wrigley Hall, just everything that's going on downtown is just fantastic. So I would say a couple of updates, from the Wrigley Hall side. On the events side of things, we have our first two events booked. One is going to be the 100-year anniversary of the Yacht Club, is going to take place in October there. We also have an event through the Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're doing sort of an early entry. We're not actually going to be open yet, but in March they're coming, kind of a sneak peek, and it's with the Michigan Society of Government Planners.
Okay.
So we're excited to be hosting them, and that's going to allow us to really kind of just showcase the city. So they're coming in from all over the state. These are people that plan events, across the state, and they're going to be able to really showcase Port Huron, and Wrigley will be part of that showcase.
Awesome. And so, I know beyond events, right, which will highlight our space and our town, what, for people who haven't been able to be in the space yet, kind of give us a sense of what's going to be in there and what the experience will be like.
Well, our goal is to just make it a completely immersive experience with, things to do, the audio, visual. But I would say, there's three key components. One is there's a food hall. And so you'll have multiple eateries that are in there. Some of them are going to be run by some of our local culinary entrepreneurs. So we're excited to, bring people in and, expose just kind of new food types to our town. Like we have this Nicaraguan fusion food. I think Heather Fagan's actually been on the show before. And so, we're excited to, to bring her kind of unique food, to the area. There's other eateries that'll have, other entrepreneurs that'll be featured on a daily basis, or they'll, run, an actual kiosk, full time.
Okay.
There's 3 bars that are going in. You have a game bar, which is just going to be all kinds of fun, TVs everywhere. There'll be a golf simulator, game simulator in there. You'll also have, pickleball.
Okay.
200 plus events we're going to run out of there a year, just all kinds of different things. So you'll have concerts that'll happen, you'll have the pickleball, you have euchre tournaments, just always having something to do.
Nice.
There's a cocktail lounge that has a smaller stage, and so that'll be more local acts or comedy acts can come through there. And then you have an upstairs rooftop bar that has a self-pour beer wall and just beautiful wood architecture, and it looks down over the main stage, or it can sort of be partitioned off with a sound wall and operate as its own individual space as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
And in addition to that, so we got the DB Harrington that's going in there.
Yeah,
you got a rock climbing wall that's going in there. You have a show kitchen that we'll do cooking shows and mixology shows. You got a distillery going in the corner, northeast corner, and then, open pop-up space where we can just bring in, vendors to, whether it's jewelry or other types of things that, we'll just do on a, week in, week out basis. Kind of keep changing it up, keeping it exciting.
Yeah, keep people wanting to come in.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors.
The St. Clair County Department of Veterans Affairs is here to serve those who have served, military veterans and their dependents. Call and make an appointment to discuss and apply for benefits to include health care, disability compensation, and community services today at 810-989-6945.
Welcome back to Spotlight. We're going to continue our conversation with Dan Dooley about the Wrigley Hall. So, an amazing space, a huge space, lots going on, shopping, drinking, eating, all that good stuff. So tell us a little bit about when can we get excited about it being open to the public, and when we should be able to get in and enjoy the space.
Well, we're getting closer every day. I'd say there's a few things that are outside of our control in terms of supply chain, and so we're kind of working through those. Our goal originally was to be open by St. Patrick's Day because I wanted to do a big Celtic Fest being an Irish guy. It's probably not going to happen this year. definitely will happen next year.
Yeah.
So we're looking, late spring to be open, and I think we're doing good in terms of tracking towards, call it the May-June timeframe, definitely before we get into the full Port Huron summer season.
Good.
So yeah, we're excited about that.
Boat night, you'll be rolling.
Boat
so
night,
everybody can come
boat
in.
night will be rolling, and we'll be available for breakfast the day after boat night too.
Awesome,
So
awesome,
a lot of
right?
good carbs.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. So bringing this major of a project together right in the center of downtown obviously takes more than just your core team, and I know you've done tons of work in the community and have received lots of support.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about those partnerships and the groups around the table.
Yeah, well, I would say, first and foremost, the goal of the project was just to drive people into downtown Port Huron. So utilize it as an attraction that we can get foot traffic into Port Huron. I think we have so much to offer, and I think if you haven't been to Port Huron in 3 years, you don't know Port Huron at all. So I think we need to get people back down to Port Huron because there's so many good things happening. So we want to draw people down there. We want to let those people, maybe start at the Wrigley Hall and then go out and explore our community, go to other businesses, and then, maybe end your day at Wrigley Hall, something like that. But, just get out into our community because I think that's really going to help open some eyes to all the cool stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of number one. I'd say in terms of the partnership and the sponsorships we've gotten, it's been amazing. It's been the most fun part of this for me is just seeing our community all kind of work together. The Community Foundation has just been amazing, every step of the way, from I think the Wrigley Center building itself to what we're doing at Wrigley Hall to helping support some of the businesses that are opening up in Wrigley Hall. Yeah, I can't speak enough about that, and I think it really sets our community apart. If you're an entrepreneur or you're a business looking to kind of relocate someplace, I think the Community Foundation is a point of differentiation for us, a real positive point. We've also received strong support from other businesses in town, like MSC Flooring has really stepped up and helped quite a bit on both doing some work as well as helping facilitate the continued construction of Wrigley Hall. Convention and Visitors Bureau has been great as we've gone through this. The chamber, the city, the county, so everyone's really kind of working together to see this, come to fruition for Port Huron.
Oh, that's awesome. It's definitely been a team project, so that's great.
Yep.
So anything else you want to share at this point in time with everyone?
Well, I just say probably a couple of things that have been kind of fun. One, we did hire our leadership team, so that's great. I'm really looking forward to them joining in the February timeframe.
Good.
And then we'll start sort of doing kind of hiring, large-scale hiring a little bit later in the spring. So, be on the lookout for that. We'll start advertising for that and, have some open houses related to hiring. And then the other, I said probably cool things is that we're, starting to book some of the fun concert events, So when we do our opening, we'll have a 3 or 4 day festival. That'll just be a grand opening festival with multiple concerts and local acts and some regional acts that'll come through with that. And then, we'll probably, have fun through the summer. And then as we work to the tail end of the summer, that's when we'll start getting some of the, the concerts that'll flow through there on a weekly basis. So,
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Well,
coming
that's
together.
awesome.
Yeah, we're
Super
excited.
exciting. Well, thank you, Dan, for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And thank you for tuning into Spotlight. We hope to see you again soon.